An empath, she's extremely sensitive to others' emotions. She picks up on everything. When she looks you in the eyes and asks how you're doing, she isn't making conversation. She actually wants to know. If you say just fine. No. Sorry. That doesn't cut it. Because she senses how you're really feeling. Whether you're quietly gloomy, feeling left out, or maybe underneath a smile, you're anxious. She really cares, and has a way of lifting you out of it. It's so nice having a friend like Jess. She truly is one of the most compassionate souls you'll ever meet. And I've gotta say, if there's one person who deserves her dreams to come true, it's Jess. Truth was though, Jess's dreams weren't even close to reality. After marrying her Prince Charming, Eric, moving into their beautiful forever home, adopting 2 adorable puppies, she thought her fairy tale future had come true. But within months, she noticed her once positive outlook gone. Now she was always exhausted. Because around the house she was doing everything, trying to please Eric, while he showed no gratitude. Quickly Eric's charming facade was melting away. Underneath, a controlling, emotionally distant, non-stop drinker. Jess desperately tried to save the marriage. She gave and gave and gave, while he took and took and took. No appreciation. It made her feel powerless at home. And her work life was filled with mini Eric clones too. Maybe the worst taker was the fast-talking head of sales, Chad. He'd always push onto her. The worst clients. The most tedious spreadsheet tasks. Even projects assigned to him. He'd always say, "Come on Jess, take one for the team. It'll only take a few minutes." Of course, minutes over and over turns to hours. And Chad took all the credit. But, as an empath, Jess didn't have the heart to say no. Jess was exhausted, stressed, her body failing. It was like Jess gave and gave. Others took and took. And then the emergency room. Her mom. Jess rushes over from the office. And when she gets back, somebody told on her. Without listening to her side. Jess was fired. She later found out the complainer was Chad. After all she did for him. I remember her calling in tears, telling me how after she practically ran the place, nobody even stuck up for her, while they should have been celebrating her. They pretended like she barely existed. Zero appreciation. It was around this time the divorce went through. Now, Jess was left without a job. Penniless. I wanted to help her. But there was a problem. Over the years, when I'd encouraged Jess, it was like part of her was unable to change. She'd always say things like, "I've already tried that, Alex. It's worked for me this long."
Expression. I don't want to change. I'm okay where I am. Do you have a friend or family member like that? Someone who's stuck? Scared of moving on? I think we all know that person. And yes, we've all been that person too. It's so easy to see from the outside how things aren't so rosy. But when you're in it, it's so much harder. So, How can you lift up someone who's stuck? Well, after all Jess had done for me, I wasn't going to give up on her. I became determined to help Jess manifest her true fairy tale happily ever after. But how? Well, I started with a favorite practice. Something you can use too. That night I asked the universe for a sign to lead me towards the perfect solution for Jess. Most of the time signs show up when we're awake.